With purchase documents, you can post usage of items and GL accounts to a job. Now in this example, let's have a look at how to post the consumption of items through a purchase document. And I will use the job setup work areas, but you can use any other job if you want. Let's first go to the task lines because I would like to add a planning line to the decoration task. So here we have a task in which we will decorate the work areas, which means that we also need furniture. So for this task, I will click on Process and then Job Planning Lines. And I will add a new planning line. So I would like to add a planning line of the type budget because we already have lump sums with the type billable. Which means that for my resources and items, I only would like to create budget lines. So let's take item and then let's select an item, can be any item in this example. Let's take the conference table and for units. Now notice that there is an available inventory notification, and this is because this job is set up with the apply usage link function. So and this means that with this function, you will see that Business Central checks the available inventory if you enter items in the planning lines of a job. And this item can now also be included in the calculate plan function. All right. So more important for this example, we now have a planning line with items, and let's go ahead and purchase the items. So and that's something I will do with a purchase order. So you can also do this with a purchase invoice, but let's use a purchase order for this example. And let's create a new order. So I will order from vendor 10,000. And let's enter the vendor invoice number already. So and here I will now enter the purchase line. So first of all, I will search for the Antwerp conference table. And let's already purchase 2 units, or let's take 3. So I'm purchasing 3 units. Now, to assign a purchase line to a job, you need to display the job number and the job task number fields. So I already did this in advance, but if you want to do this, you can do this easily by going to personalize and add these fields. But that's very important. If you want to post consumption to a job from a purchase line or from a job journal, as we will see in the next units, you always need to assign the job number and the job task number. And so these fields always need to be available on the purchase lines and the job journal lines. So in this case, I would like to assign the task to, the purchase to job number 20, so set up work areas. And I would like to assign it to task 220 decoration. So there we go. So I will stick to the standard direct unit cost that we have here. So that's fine for this example. And now we can post. Notice that I also displayed the job line type. Now in most cases, you can just leave the job line type blank. But sometimes you might want to create additional budget lines or billable lines, which means that you can do this with the job line type. So and this means that if you would do this, Business Central will not only create job ledger entries, but also additional planning lines. But that's not necessary for this example, so I will just leave the field blank. Now another thing that is important to know if you use purchase orders and you first post the receipt, which is of course perfectly possible, you will see that when posting the receipt, Business Central doesn't create job ledger entries yet. So if I show you, if I click here on Navigate, Receipts, and if I navigate on the receipt document, you will see that we have item ledger entries, that there is a value entry, but no job ledger entries yet. The job ledger entry is only created when you post the invoice. So again, that might be something important for companies that use items on jobs. All right, so to assign the item to the job, I will click once more on posting, post, and now I will also post the invoice. All right, everything is posted. Let's go and have a look at the job. So here for job number 20, first of all, let me show you the job task lines. So now for the first time, you will see that there is also a usage. So we already had a budget based on the 4 conference tables. And because we have already purchased 3 of them and assigned them to this task, you can see now that we also have a usage, both for the total cost and the total price.